Hello and welcome everyone. So in this tutorial we are going to learn about break statement in Java. This is also a part of control flow statement, and here we are going to learn why we are going to use a break statement in a Java. When a break statement is encountered inside a loop, the loop is immediately terminated and the program controls resume at the statement following the loop. So let me show you one example. So let's suppose there is one for loop. There is one condition 1, I should be less than equals to 10 and I plus plus. And how we are using this loop? So let's say there is some condition which says I is divided by equals to 2 and whose remainder comes 0. In case this condition satisfies, we are writing one break condition. So how break is going to work? The Java break statement is used to break a loop or switch statement. It breaks the current flow of the program at the specific condition. In case of inner loop, it is going to break the inner loop. So let me show you. Whenever this condition is breaking, suppose we are iterating a loop from number 1 to 10, and in case we are checking one condition, if any number is divided by 2 whose remainder becomes 0, then you have to come out of this loop. For that example, for that purpose, we are using break statement. So the program will be terminated immediately if in case this condition satisfies, and the control will come out of the loop. Now few points to remember where we can use our for. So few points that we need to remember where we can use our breaking statement. So here we can use for loop, second we can use for while loop, and third we can use here for the do while loop. Along with these loops we can use in switch statements. So in switch statement we can use it here. For the switch statement I have already covered one video and I am going to share the link below in the description box. For that you can refer that video. Now coming to the point how we can see this working practically in the Java. For that we are going to jump into our IDE. As you can see, we are having one ready mode project. Inside source we are having one package. After that I am going to create one class saying break statement, and I am done with creating my class. After that I am going to create one main method, and after creating main method we are going to write some code. Let's say we are having one loop called for, and inside for I am going to write int I is equals to 1. Now the second condition, that is going to be I should be equals to 10, I should be less than or equals to 10, and I plus plus. Now let's see how I am going to show you the condition. So let's say if, what will happen if the ampersand of I, which means we are getting the remainder of given number I is equals to 0. So whenever the remainder of any number matches to the 0, we are going to say that break this statement. And here I am going to say one condition saying system.out.println, and inside this println I am going to print the value of I. Now let me run this program and I will show you how the things are working here. So here you can see it is working till 2. How it is working I will show you. We will run our program in debug mode and I will show you how this break condition is working. So now let's see. If we are going inside loop, the value of I at the first time is 1. Now I is not, it means 1. Whenever we are dividing 1 by any number saying 2, then what it will happen? This condition will be false and loop will come out of our if condition. Now the next iteration that is going to happen is for the number 2, that you can see here. Now jumping here, what we can see here. Now after jumping this, we can see that the number 2 is completely divided by 2 whose remainder is equals to 0. and it will come inside of if condition, and when this condition satisfied, it is going to break the condition, and it has come completely it has come out of the for loop, and now it is not going to iterate any number further. So for this we can limit that we have iterated only for the 2 times. So remaining 8 iteration we are not going to iterate. So for the condition checking we are using this break statement. Suppose we don't want to iterate this loop for the 10 times for any specific condition, then only we are breaking. So what will happen? Break will come out of the for loop, and break will help us to validate proper loop for any specific condition. In case that condition is matching something like this, we will come out of for loop. Now let me finish this program and we will see what will happen here. So now you can see here we are printing this till 2. What will happen in case we are not putting these 2 conditions? What the value is going to print? Now let me comment it out this code and I will run. So for this purpose you can see we are going to get the value from 1 to 10. Now next thing that I am going to explain you is about inner loop. So what is the inner loop? So in case we are having one more condition. So for example, I am talking about, let me do Control Z, and we are having one more loop inside loop. So let me write this something here. I will put this condition afterward, and this loop is said to be the inner loop. Now we have to initiate with the another variable that is said to be, let's j. So I am going to change it from I to j. What will happen? Now here I am going to put one more condition, same condition that I have kept. If a number, if j is completely divided by 2 and whose remainder comes 0, for that we have to cancel the loop. For that we have to terminate the loop in case this condition satisfy. So what I am going to say, that I am going to say break to print the value of our j. So inside println I am going to put something like j. Now let me run this program and see what the value is coming. So after removing this compilation error, that was one extra curly braces that I have removed just now. Now you can see this program and let me run how it is behaving. So like you can see, for the first time this number is iterating from 1 to 10, and for the another loop that is going to be the inner loop, for that we are seeing the number 1 to 2. So now let me show you how this is functioning properly. For that we have to run our program in debug mode. Like you can see, my debugger has started here. I am going to explain you each line one by one. Let me step over with the help of this button that you can see here, and I am jumping one by one. So in the line number that you can see, it has been iterated once because at the first condition the value of j was 1. Now this time the value is 2, and 2 is completely divided by 2 whose remainder comes 0. Now this will break the statement, and this for loop is going to terminate, and this program will come out of the for loop, and now the previous loop is going to iterate. Now let's jump here and you will see that we are going in a correct direction. So now let me show you the value of this is printing again and again. So you can see the value that is coming here is going to break every time, and it is not validating any condition. Now we will see here only the value of I is being printed. So here we can see that the value is printed something like this. Now with this you are very much clear, and in case you want more satisfaction how we can do that, so for that I am adding one more condition here. Let me show you. I is equals to 2, and I am going to say I is equals to 5, and j is equals to 5. So how this program is going to behave? Now let me run this program and I will show you how things are working properly. So now you can see this is how our program is going to behave. So every time whenever there is break statement, it will come out of for loop. For the inner loop, only inner loop will be terminated, and for the outer loop, only outer loop will be terminated. Now next thing that we can see here, we can also do this for the while loop. So here I am declaring one variable, something called I, and with that I am going to write while loop, and inside while I am going to put I should be less than equals to 10, and inside that I am going to put some condition. So what that condition is going to be, I is equals to 2. Now I will say break this statement and come out of the loop. Now what will happen? Let me show you. System dot out dot println, and here I am going to print the value of I. After that I will run this program and we will show you how many times this loop is being iterated. So now this loop is going to be iterated like multiple times, and we have to give one increment operator so that our loop does not go for the infinite times. We have to put this here one time so that our loop should not iterate infinite times. Now let me show you how these things are working. So like you can see, it has been iterated only twice. Now what is the purpose of this break statement? Break statement is used only when we want to check some values, and after that we don't want to iterate that loop for the multiple time. Let's say for the initial time we wanted this loop to iterate until the condition fails, means here the value was 10 and we were about to iterate it 10 times, but our desired output that we wanted to get any number which was equals to 2. Now this has been done only iterating twice. Let's suppose we want to get one number is something like 5 and we want to run this loop. So what will happen? We will get this number 5 by the iteration of loop only 5 times. Remaining 5 times we are skipping because those iterations are not required. So for the time consuming and because it was time consuming, we not want to perform any extra operation other than these 5 iterations, and we have saved our times and we have also got our desired output. So this reduces our number of iteration, time, and also number of operation which were expecting with the help of break statement. Now these things can also be done with the do while loop. So for the do while loop, let me explain you how I am going to do that. So here I will put on condition. Let me show you. I am going to put something like do, and after that I am going to write few more code. So inside do I will write something like do while, and inside while I am going to say I should be less than or equals to 10. Now we are done with our do while syntax. Inside do I am going to write some body. If we are having one number, let's say if I is equals to 4. Now we want this loop to iterate only 4 times. After that we are going to put one condition here, and inside that we have to give our I++ increment operator which is called update. We can also use I minus minus, it means decrement operator. So what will happen? We are only using I++ so that our loop does not go for the infinite iteration of loop. Now here I have declared break, and after that I am going to write something system.out.println, and I will print the value of I, and after that I am going to say I++. So after formatting my code, I am going to run my program here. Let's see what is the issue that is coming here. The compilation issue was due to semicolon, which I have fixed just now, and let me run this program. So here you can see the value that we are seeing here is correctly working. So while loop is breaking whenever the desired output we are meeting. So here the value is being printed from 1 to 3, and after that break statement is going to execute. Let me put one debug and I will explain you how things are working. So let me start my program in the debug mode, and here we can see the program working as expected or not. So let me step over because my debugger has been started and I am going to work on it. So here let's see, the value is 2 this time, and whenever it is checking the value is equals to 4 or not, so which is not matching, so value will be increased by 1. So what will happen? So now the value is 3 now, I is equals to 3, and here this condition will be false because I is matching with, here this condition will be false because 3 is not matching with 4, and this time value is going to be 4 because we are doing increment operator. Now this time this statement is going to be true, and here if you will see, the condition has come inside of our if condition and it will break. Now let's break this, and you can see our code has been terminated and came out of while loop. So here you can see that program has been terminated till 3, and we are good to go with break. So with this, let me tell you once again in a very brief, we are using break statement to terminate our program whenever any desired condition is met. If and this condition satisfies, then the control comes out of the loop and program is terminated. And I hope you have understood it clearly. In case you are having any problem, you can comment it out in the below section. Thank you. Bye bye.